not easy for me, and if she sees this, her anger towards me will probably rise a lot more than it to another sphere, probably. I have to tell a little story about it. I have to start at the beginning. Maybe not at the very beginning, but at a beginning. I had many beginnings in my life so far. The thing is, when we came back from Bavaria, me and my parents from Bavaria back in '97, we lived there from '94 to '97, and we came back here to Eiffel, I didn't have anyone. I left all of the friends I made in Bavaria behind. I was like 10 or 11 years old or something. I don't know. No, hell no. I was older. I don't know. I don't even know right now. I could, and I could do the math, but hell if I know. I left what matters is that I left all the friends behind me in Bavaria, friends that I still talk to today. Friends that I made in elementary school, even. Weird. Sometimes life is weird, and you come across people you haven't talked to in 30 years. But the Germans have a saying. I don't know if that applies to Americans as well, or to British or Americans or English-speaking people in general. That it goes like, you always see a certain somebody. You always see them twice in life, or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know if that applies. But it seems to be true. And yeah, like I said, when we came back here, I like I said, I didn't have anyone. I left them behind, and we had moved quite a few times. So I went through this many times. And as I established myself here, I went to school and everything, but I don't know why, but I can't explain it. I was never actually able to. I made some German friends, I guess, some people I hung out with sometimes, right? But pretty soon I discovered that that there was these people that they spoke a different language. They spoke English, and they were Americans in my street right here. And I'm like, wow, that's cool and all that. And so my mom used to work for the Americans too back in the 80s, and so she told me about Americans. She told me about the base up there. She told me many things. And so as we had lived here like a year or something, or 2 years, and either in 98 or in 99, I met this great man from America. I made this great friendship. I made it. I'm talking nonsense right now. I met this great man. He's the greatest man I've ever met. The greatest man I've ever met. I don't even know where he's from originally. I've met the greatest man I've ever met, and I don't even know where he's from. All I know is that he lives in Massachusetts right now with his family. I met him and his wife and his dog. And And he was a fighter pilot. He was an A-10 Aviator. Great plane, by the way. All the F-16 guys that see this, right, are gonna hate me probably. But to me, it is a great plane, dude. I can tell it's a great plane. And I don't know, like I said, I don't exactly remember how old I was. Maybe 13 or something, 14 or something like that. And I was always so fascinated by, he lived right across the street from me, right? Like a few yards down the road. And I saw him coming home sometimes from work. He was a pilot, and I was always so fascinated by those flight suits they're wearing, still today, of course. And one night I took all of me, I heard about from my mom, like I heard about Americans and all that, and all the military and guns and all that. I'm like, oh, I was always a little, not scared, but I was intimidated. Okay, I'm to be intimidated very easily by something that I see, and I like it, and so even today, though, at almost, well, I forgot. I'm not gonna. At almost, age is just a number, at least in some configurations, I'd say, and one night, he had lived like 6 months or something, or 10 months. He had lived here, and we lived here, and obviously, and I had taken all my courage together, and I went over and I rang his doorbell, and he opened the door, and he said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh my God," I was really intimidated and shaky. And I said, I asked him if he could. I don't know what he must have thought. And I asked him if he could get me one of these suits. And he did. He did much later, but anyway, I don't want to make this too long. There was a great friendship that developed, a great friendship. They stayed here like 2 years, 3 years, or 4 even, I don't know. And we started getting to know each other, and we went out together many times to eat, and admittedly we've had one or the other beer, maybe too many sometimes, down there in the pizzeria Bella Italia, and it was just great times. And I used to walk their dog. They had I think the dog's name was Brandy, and I can't remember the I think it was a Rottweiler, German Rottweiler or something. I don't know. Can't really remember. Sweet dog. That's for sure. And it was just a great friendship. It was a great friendship that had developed. And as if anybody probably can imagine that when they moved away, well, in 2002, it still brings me to tears today. Really bad. That was a complete. My world had fallen apart. Wow. My world had fallen apart very, very tremendously bad. But we, no matter what, we kept on talking. We were good friends back in the day, though there was a tremendous difference in age. He was, I was 14 or 15 or something. He was 36 or 37 back in the day. It's crazy. And now I am his age. Oh, Jesus. Time flies. He tells me even today, time flies. Yeah. And oh yeah, his kids, they're all grown today. his oldest son and the younger son are both. I think they're both in the Air Force today too, and his daughter just graduated from high school. I don't know what her plans are, but she'll be awesome because she is, and they're all awesome. And like I said like 10 minutes ago, I don't want to make it too long, but this is really big. So yeah, we lost touch with each other a little for a few years after that, but I found him on Facebook. I found my friend again, and ever since then we keep in touch, and we're still friends today. And I think we always will be. And he was always like a father figure to me. He was back in the day. He is right now, and he always will be. And he always will be, and I think he knows. And his kids are my siblings. That's for sure. And okay. They left in 22 or 23. Can't really remember. And I met some decent Americans after that. I really like one dude from Flint, Michigan. I hung out with for like 2 years. It was great. It was always great. But as time grew and flew by, the generations had changed, I guess, and it was all nice until 2012. So in 2012, there was no more. Americans seemed to have changed in terms of, that heartwarming, welcoming. It was different. I was able to feel a difference there. First of all, and apart from that, there was many like families that came here. Families like that moved to our neighborhood, from so many places too. And I was not able to establish myself within those families. Of course, no, there was no. The chances of me hanging out like on the weekend sometimes and all that, but they were very low. So and I like I said, I grew up. Yeah, you can really say I grew up with Americans, and I started missing that already back then. So let's make a time jump. So you could say from 2012 to 2020. There was nothing. There was no further connection until, and now this is the part that it's not easy for me. It's been haunting me for 2 days, for 2 years, and days too. See, I fuck up. I fuck up sometimes. This all comes. I'm not gonna cut this. I'm not gonna cut this. This is gonna go in the video. It's been haunting me for 2 years now. I met a woman, my neighbor. I met my neighbor that still lives next to me here, and I hope she will for another year or maybe even 2. Yeah, that's the thing. Now, where do I start here? First time I saw her, I got to put in advance to everything I say right now. I was never interested in this woman sexually. Never. I never was. I am not, and I never will be interested. And I think she knows. I hope she knows. And yeah, met my neighbor from America. So I saw her coming here, and I think it was February 2020. I was standing right there. I was looking out my window, and I saw this weird silver Ford. And I was like, oh. And like I said, like, you got to keep in mind, there was no connection between me and Americans so far than like for 8 years. Oh, sorry. And I was, like I said, I was looking out my window. I saw this weird Ford, and that music. That I don't know exactly what she listens to, but this is pretty intense. And I was like, wow. And the second I saw that car, I knew, oh, yep, it's American alert. Yes, that is a new American. It's a new American. Hopefully he's single, I thought. So no family, so I couldn't, I could have somebody again from over the pond, to hang out with and all that. And and the first thing I saw, because what I do, I don't know why I do this, but that's probably just me. Whenever I meet or see a new person in my life, I always check out their shoes first. I don't know why. Shoes tell a lot about people, by the way. And I saw these two Chucks, low Chucks, coming out of this car, and I'm like, all right. And I'm like, wow, oh my. And she got out of the car, and I'm like, wow. And I saw a moving truck, and I knew, yes. Like I said, I was never interested in, like, I got to put this up again. Not even there. Though I got to say this too, she's very beautiful. She's beautiful. She has the eyes of a maybe a wolf, but in a good way. But it sounds very controversial. She's very beautiful. I know it sounds controversial, but no sexual interest. Never. Of course, nobody believes me now, of course. But I hope she does. Should she ever see this. But, and I was like, yes, that's awesome. And you can guess where the story goes. You can guess where it goes. The second I stood there, the second I saw her, I spoke out loud to myself. I didn't just think it. I saw her getting in her place. I thought, nice. But the same second, the same token, I said to myself, Stefan, you're going to screw this up. And I did. I knew I would. I knew I would. I'm not gonna say exactly what I did. What I did was bad. It was very bad. I didn't hurt anyone, so I didn't hurt anyone. It's just, it's a long story. It would be so much to tell. So yeah. And it's haunting me, and I knew I was gonna screw this up, and I did. And about 8 or 9 weeks later, after I said this to myself right here in front of my living room window, I found myself in the situation in which I am today. It had collided. She told me to please leave her alone, because I just hit her like a ton of bricks. It was just too much. And I was in a state of I was in a very bad state of emotional distress. Of course, she doesn't care about this, and I can't blame her. the one that's to blame is never asked about how he's doing. That's totally fine. And hang on, I lost track. Yeah, I went through I went through hell for the past 2 years. I have no other way to deal with this, by the way. I went through hell because of what I did to this woman. Because it could have had I acted differently, it could have been different. No guarantee, of course not, but it could have been different. It would have, maybe. And that's what doesn't leave me alone. You know, because it could have been something. I just wanted to have that feeling again in here, right? I'm not talking about, like I said, any relationship or any shit like that. Never. I was, like I said, never interested in her, and I'm not, and I never will be, as long as she's here, and even beyond that. But I gotta say, I won't give up hope that maybe there's a way of, maybe not. I wouldn't call it forgiveness, because what I did is not very, very easy. You actually can't forgive it. I mean, there's always a could, but no must, you know. But however you say to this, however you call it, I don't know right now. But at least I don't know. I no matter what anyone comments under this video right now or in my social, I won't give up the hope that there is maybe something that could change for the better again. I'm not talking about any hanging out with our friendship or anything, because that'll never happen. That'll never happen. I did way too much bullshit for that. But at least, if I could only sit down with her and talk to her and what I just said, all the stuff that I said for I don't know how many minutes. This exceeds the length of the song that I'm hopefully will be able to do after saying all this by a long shot. I wish I could just sit down with her and talk to her and explain this to her. Just so she knows. She doesn't know what I went through. That I spent almost half a year in hospital last year because of this shit. It's unbelievable. And she thinks, and she probably thinks I'm causing a fuss with this shit again, but it just doesn't, it's not easy for me because I live here and she lives here. Like I said, hopefully, we'll leave her alone, definitely. Oh my God. We'll never ever get in her way, because that would make things worse, way worse. But I wish I could talk to her. I just wish I could tell her that. And even if she'll go, okay, now you explain it to me, but I still don't want to talk to you anymore. I would accept that, sure thing, as I'm accepting everything right now. I would accept it, sure thing, of course. But I would have had the opportunity to actually tell her that I never meant no harm and no threat, and I hope she knows. But she just couldn't deal with me. I know. I can imagine this is very tough. I don't know. Maybe something will change again for the better. I'm not saying it's good, but better. I'm not saying it could be good, but for the better at least, so I can be at peace. You know, this is the thing, and I gotta come out. I gotta come forward with this because it's been haunting me for 2 years, and it does, and it always will. But I won't. There's a little light of hope and in me that I can't let anyone delete that light. Never. I can't let anything happen other than that, or I'm going down. And I don't want to go down. So, does this for the viewers. And now, I don't know why I want to dedicate this to you right now. This is for you now. Should you ever see this? Should you ever see this? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. I don't know. I don't know. Should you ever see this now, tomorrow, next week, maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 10 years? I will always be sorry for what I did to you. I know you don't care about how sorry I am. First of all, you don't care about how, sounds very selfish now, but I'm still going to say, I know you don't care of what I went through, because you just don't care about this. You want to be here in peace, I know, and you don't want to be, you want to be hanging out, you want to hang out with all the nice German friends you made here. That's awesome, and that's pretty cool, and I'm really happy for you. But I just want you to know that I will always be sorry for what I did to you, neighbor woman. I'm not going to name any names because I'm not a piece of shit. That wouldn't be fair. I've done some, I wouldn't call them bad things, but I've done stuff that I should be more sorry about effectively. But I've never been as sorry about something as I am about what I did to you. And maybe someday, I don't know, we can greet each other again or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a lot to ask right now. I know. I'm just so sorry. And believe me, maybe that's proof enough for you. You know, I'm stepping, how do you say that? How do you say that in English? I'll come forward to this in a YouTube video in my channel and talk about it. I shouldn't, I wouldn't have to do that, but I do. I'm sorry. I know I can repeat so many times that I never meant no threat, no harm and everything, but I did. Those were your words too. You did. You said, remember I said to you, I didn't mean to do this, and you said, but you did, and yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not what you think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I'm really not, whatever that may be. And I will always be here for you, no matter how mad you are or whatever. I just have to say this. Always, if you got something you need help, if there's anything day and night, I'll always be here for you. I know this is another controversy, but you can always come to me. I think you'd rather do anything but that. But I know, but I'm just saying it. I will leave you alone. You know I will. And should you see me smoking outside my door sometimes, I'm not standing there because of you. I just don't want to smoke in here. Enough that I started again, but it's not because of you. Please don't think that. I don't want you to think that. So yeah, that's the little story. The little story, I don't know. I don't even know how long this is, but yeah. These are my thoughts. when I hear when I played, this afternoon I was sitting here, I played through some Springsteen, and this Heartland came up, and I thought, and I don't know, the melody, and maybe not so much the words, but the melody made me think of this, of sharing this. But I think I have to take a cut. Because I have to get ready for the song now. Again, I can't do this in one setting, so yeah, I'm just gonna cut it. All them scarecrows lying face down. Yeah. All right then. Hey there, mister, can you tell me what happened to the seeds of song? Can you give me a reason, sir, as to why they never grow? They just blown around from town to town till they're back on these fields where they fall from my hand, back into the dirt of this hard land. Now me and my sister from Germantown, yeah, we did right. Well, we made our bed, sir, from the rock on the mountainside. We've been blown around from town to town, just looking for a place to land, where the sun breaks through the clouds like a circle of fire down on this hard land. Not even the rain that won't come round here no more. And the only sound at night's the wind slamming that back porch door. Yeah, it stirs you up like it wants to blow you down, twisting and churning up the sand, leaving all them scarecrows lying face down in the dirt of this hard land. From a building upon the hill, I can hear a tape deck blasting home on the range. I can hear them bar rim choppers sweeping low across the plains. Well, it's me and you, Frank, and we're looking for lost cattle in our hooves, twisting, churning up the sand. We're riding in the whirlwind, searching for lost treasures, way down south of the Rio Grande. We're walking across that river in the moonlight, up onto the banks of this hard land. Hey Frank, won't you pack your bags and meet tonight down in Liberty Hall? I just want one kiss from you, my brother, and we'll ride until we fall. We sleep in the fields and we sleep by the rivers, and in the morning we'll make a plan. Well, if you can make it, stay hard, stay hungry, stay alive, and if you can, then meet me in the dream of this hard land. No, 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 no.
Ooh.
Ah, yeah. This Heartland. I don't know why, but this is what I felt when I thought about my story there. I wish you all happy holidays, especially to my neighbor. Maybe you can go home over Christmas. That would be awesome. Or maybe you at least get a package from home with some homemade stuff. That'll make you feel home. And not it's spooky. It's spooky. It's really spooky sometimes. Anyway, I'm sorry.